So I'm going to start with some crazy statements, and I'm really hoping to have some fun with you guys today. So let's start. Being lazy is a skill. And I know it sounds crazy, right? So let me take it a step further and say being lazy will help you be successful in the workplace. So during for this talk, I was told that you have to start with something crazy. So now that's done, allow me to unpack. So what is being lazy? Being lazy can be defined as the unwillingness to work or to use energy. And I'm 100% convinced that I've gone through 4 different forms of this in my life. So you say I am skilled at this. Now, if you look at this picture, it brings back horrendous memories of failing semester tests, where you're cramming there thinking that the option is C. But I'm here to tell you today that option, all of the above, is indeed the correct answer. It is at that point in the test where I'll be putting up my hand and telling the invigilator, ma'am, the test is incorrect. So let's start with the first one, doing things superficially. Now let's go back to the days of being forced to clean your room. When your mother's slamming you there, you need to make sure your room is clean. And you're gently moving things around to make things look clean. And this is something that we see as a problem even in the workplace. We see managers pass upon their team, create a culture of the tick box exercise. It is now time for us to start challenging those narratives. The second form of laziness that I've experienced in my life is substitution. Imagine walking into the office and having to choose between a difficult one-on-one with an employee who is not performing or making your cup of coffee. And I know I'm definitely a cup of coffee kind of guy. The third form of laziness that I've experienced in my life is, and for me, this is really accepting what other people do. Now, in the pursuit of my dream career would be, I remember growing up as a child wanting to be a police officer. Actually, I think I watched a bit too many action movies. I then saw all my friends who were passionate about sports and wanted to be professional soccer players, and there I was picturing myself as Messi and Ronaldo. My other sister studied law, and so that then became the next agenda item. My other sister studied medicine, and there I was with the lab coat picturing myself in a surgical ward as a future doctor. My journey of confusion led me to study a bachelor's degree in microbiology and biochemistry, and today I work as a brewer. So yes, we've gone from law enforcement to making beer. The fourth and final form of laziness that I've experienced is procrastination. I found myself delaying applications to new roles that I was passionate about, even though I knew I was ready. I found myself delaying difficult conversations with employees about performance that wasn't doing so great. And my fiance's all-time favorite, you took too long to propose. So what is the agenda here? Why go through the effort of telling you all of this? I came to the realization that as somebody who wants to be a future leader, I needed to start seeing myself as the lazy worker in the workplace. I needed to start seeing myself as this in order to advance my career, improve team performance, and to generally become a better person. So this led to the question of why. Why was I lazy in all these different situations? And I think we generally fear success as people. I was definitely afraid to take risks. I was afraid of not meeting other people's expectations. And let's be honest, at some point we all need to evaluate our circle. Bad friends are bad decisions, guys. So luckily I had the opportunity to tackle some of these challenges. And I have a really big appreciation for those people out there fully aligned with what they want to do from a career point of view from an early age. I look at my niece who loves cooking and she wants to be a chef, and watching that process unfold is extremely beautiful. But some of us are really not built the same. I had to develop my passions to be about grabbing opportunities as a driver for growth. Luckily enough, life was throwing some nice curve allowed me to do this. The first opportunity came at the end of my undergraduate degree, where I applied for a graduate program, competing with thousands of applicants, and I was lucky enough to get in. But I think life has a funny way of almost giving you what you want, but of course with a twist. Now, as somebody who's grown up in Johannesburg, born and bred, moving to the new city of Durban was quite the change. But moving to a new city gives you an opportunity to start testing new ideas. I saw this as an opportunity to start eliminating my fear of not meeting people's expectations. And why not? Nobody knows me in the city. If I mess up, I mess up. And there we were engaging in this new city. I then started to use the idea of laziness as a trigger to challenge my thoughts. I would often ask myself, have I let my lazy behavior creep in again? Did I allow myself to be passive? And was I taking enough risks? So in this journey, I developed a desire to help others along this journey. I started an organization called Young Aspiring Thinkers, which tackles the challenge of youth unemployment. And the beautiful thing about this organization, it taught me the power of collaboration. I started this organization with a group friend of mine called Tulani. And what was really strange about this organization, it came at a very difficult time in our personal lives. And the clear shift that was happening was a change in purpose. And this is a key concept as leaders we need to start embracing and not ridicule. This program looks at self-discovery, career design, community projects, job shadowing, and social clubs. And what I started to realize was the onset of laziness can honestly be linked to that difficult period in your life where you feel stuck. And honestly, this is the beginning of your change of purpose and change in passions. This really requires a complete mental shift and a plan of action. One of my favorite quotes by Bernard Shaw, who was an Irish playwright, says, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." I read a recent article by the McKinsey & Company, which talks about the 9 keys to becoming a future-ready company. It's really amazing to see organizations out there challenging this and adopting a continuous improvement mindset. But I think we need exactly more of that, but in the way we manage our people. This article challenges 4 interrelated trends that are poised to unwind the future and old ways of management. It looks at connectivity. Connectivity is at an all-time high. We're seeing lower transactional costs where the barrier to entry isn't as high as it used to be. Unprecedented automation, and my personal favorite, fundamental social shifts. The Gen Z generation is absolutely not paying. They are challenging different career aspirations. They demand more variety. They demand more learning. They demand more leadership and promotion opportunities. Career mobility is a must, together with social impact. If we take a look at research in this article, McKinsey looked at over 50 companies in the country. And what they thought was companies that frequently reallocate talent to high-value initiatives are more than twice as likely to outperform peers on total returns and total productivity. So what are my top 5 go-to actions as somebody who wants to be a future leader? I think we need to start accelerating learning in the workplace. It shocks me every time when I talk to leaders and of big organizations who refuse to accept that their people are bored. This happens, guys. We look at Google, for example, who initiated 20% time, an initiative that gives employees time to create their own ideas. And this led to the birth of Google Maps and Gmail. Talent. We need to start treating talent as scarcer than capital. We need to create an environment where employees are able to express themselves. Promote people twice in a year. Who cares? If you're good, you're good. The culture really needs to start changing. A culture of accountability. We need to create a culture where soft skills are seen as a strong leadership trait. A culture where we put merit before friendships, especially when it comes to career growth. And my ultimate favorite one is purpose. I think one thing I've realized in my journey is that purpose is something that changes every week, every month, and every year. And you need to allow yourself to explore that. We need to start taking an ecosystem approach. We see Tesla in 2014 who made a shocking decision to open source their patents and allowed other companies to use their intellectual property. It is now time for us to start throwing away the old ways of leadership, especially in today's environment. So today I challenge you to lead with speed, to lead with creativity, to lead with accountability, and to lead with the humility to start converting your own inner lazy worker. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.